It's Lily Allen and Mark Ronson. And oh my God, it's Felixstowe Radio Breakfast then. A very good morning. It's Friday, the 5th of November today. It's bonfire night tonight, and that only means we've got to get our own fireworks out. Tommy, good evening, good morning.
Boom, boom, boom. I mean, that joke would work better if my name was Catherine. Catherine Wheel.
Tommy, dearest, I got the joke. It just wasn't very good.
Well, you may have got it, but our sweet listeners may not have got it.
That is true. That is true. So you guys get sweet listeners. Off air, I get something else. Right then. I do love that. It's been made for me, you know that?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's perfect.
Speaking of me, Tommy, we're in a new month. It is Nostalgic November.
It's Nostalgic November.
You are a nostalgia on legs.
I pretty much am. You know, I live for the 80s and the 90s. You know, that's my 80s music and 90s, 80s music and 90s movies. I mean, like, or even
that's a good mix.
And early 2000s movies. You know, it speaks to me on an emotional level.
It's your DNA, isn't it? You don't do current. You don't do new.
No, I don't.
Screw that.
Very rarely do I look up new wave music because it's really not my cup of tea. I prefer the old style stuff, you know. And a lot of people, give me, give me mouth for that. But you know, I really.
I'm one of them.
Yep, you do. Yeah.
So anyway, before this gets a bit heated, what have you got for us today on the first instalment of Nostalgic November?
Well, seeing as it's the first of the month, I thought I'd go for something slightly different.
Oh.
So instead of doing a movie, I'm going to review a mini-series that came out, and it actually aired on Sky One in early 2000. So, and I believe it was aired in 30-minute sections, but overall it's basically an 8-hour fantasy adventure piece. It's called The 10th Kingdom. And I grew up watching this mini-series after recording it VHS style off Sky One when it first aired in February 2000. So we taped it off VHS.
Dude, that was 21 years ago.
That was our Netflix.
That was.
Yeah. So this 6-hour epic tale tells the story of an insecure young waitress named Virginia and her spineless, self-pitying father, Tony. They both live in New York City in the year 2000. But in the parallel fantasy universe known as the Nine Kingdoms, where fairy tales roam the land, the evil queen, who was taught by the original evil queen who poisoned Snow White, who gave her the poison apple. Have you seen the original Disney Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs?
When it comes to Disney, I'm all over that.
Cool, yeah. That's good. Yeah. So you'll know a bit of what I'm talking about here.
Absolutely.
So the evil queen seeks to break out of her prison and steal the throne from her pompous but innocent stepson, Prince Wendell. With the aid of the Troll King and his 3 idiot children, she breaks out of the prison and turns Prince Wendell into a speechless dog. But then the prince escapes capture and makes his way into the prison dungeon, where he falls onto a magic mirror which activates a portal which transports him to another world, which happens to be our world. The evil queen also releases a half-man, half-wolf servant simply named Wolf, who swears to also capture the dog. So Prince Wendell, Wolf, and the 3 troll children make their way to our world, where various fish-out-of-water moments occur and entangle Virginia and Tony into the mayhem in the process. One thing leads to another, and Tony and Virginia end up travelling with the dog Wendell back to the 9 Kingdoms, with the trolls and the wolf hot on their trail. Thus, an epic quest is stowed upon these 2 characters from our world, where they become the fish out of water and encounter trolls, gypsy cursors, dwarves and huntsmen, which all pay homage to the classic Grimm's fairy tales that Disney have kind of made a bit more well known in the past century, I'd say.
Yep.
So out of everything I have ever watched, this miniseries is the one thing I mostly have seen where no one else I know has done so. So it's one of those things which is very special to me.
I've never heard of it.
Exactly, yeah, and not many people have, to be fair. I was just very lucky, and I managed to catch this when it was on TV, and since then I have bought it on DVD, and I'm currently looking for it on Blu-ray. And it's also worth noting it's actually all on YouTube in 5 long parts, so it's worth checking out.
We'll keep that bit between ourselves.
Yep.
Okay, well, are you giving me a Christmas present idea if you're looking for a Blu-ray?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking for a Blu-ray there. So yeah, out of everything, yeah, that is the one that I have seen that not many other people have done so, which is probably a rarity for this review, because I'm sure a lot of people listening to our reviews, they'd be like, oh yeah, I've seen that. I don't think many people will have seen this one, but I hope they do check it out afterwards, because it is a very good watch.
Absolutely, sounds like it, to be fair.
The CGI can be a bit dated in areas, but the scenery in the New Zealand shots are astounding, considering this was pre-Lord of the Rings era, because this was made before Lord of the Rings, or maybe concurrently during when Lord of the Rings was being made. Either way, New Zealand was just the all-time hotspot to make movies then, and still is for the most part. On their quest, you get great modern homages to Rapunzel, Rumpelstiltskin, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Jack and the Beanstalk, etc. There's all these little fairy tales that have been modernised. Well, modernised as far as turn of the millennium standards go, but it's certainly a fun reinvention of those fairy tales. So to close, this was done in the golden age of Sky broadcasting, where shows like Buffy the Vampire Slayer and The Simpsons were fresh on the UK channel and told a fun adventure story that had more well-known actors in it than people know, including Warwick Davis or Rucker Hauer, Diane West and James Cosmo. There's a very little mixed bag of well-known British celebrities that pop up here and there.
Okay.
But overall, a fun watch for all ages, considering I enjoyed it when I was 5 and can still have a great time watching it today at 26. So
Wow.
Overall, I'm going to reward this mini-series 3.5 stars out of 5.
It sounds good to me, Tommy. And the first time on the show where you've ever not reviewed a movie, you've done a mini-series.
It's a mini-series. It's a one-off 6-hour special event, really.
I suppose if you actually sit and watch them back-to-back, it can be a movie.
Oh, yeah, definitely. When because when I had them on VHS tape when I was young, I had to tape them on 3 VHS. You know how much VHS tapes could probably hold.
You should have put them on LP.
Yeah, I should have
long
done.
play, and then I think you get 6 hours in a long play and 3 hours in short play.
Right, yeah.
Slightly worse quality, I think, than LP. I can't remember.
Well,
it's been so long.
Yeah, overall, I'm really looking forward to you finding some clips of it to put behind me in this scenario, because it's going to be a rare thing.
Absolutely. For those of you listening and probably don't know what Tommy's banging on about, most people don't, to be fair. It's basically these reviews we're doing, they go on YouTube. You can see them now, felixstoweradio.org.uk/breakfast. And we just put a green screen behind Tommy because he's actually sat in front of some very questionable, let's say, decor in my studio here. But basically, yeah, put a green screen behind him and you can watch the film. Not obviously the whole thing. We can't do that for legal reasons, but that's what we're going to do. felixstoweradio.org.uk later on /breakfast is where you need to be at for that. Tommy, thank you very much.
No worries. I had to kick off this month with some kind of special flavour, just to kick it off. But I'm looking forward to what we're going to be talking about next week, because we've already discussed it, and we're going to keep it to ourselves.
Absolutely.
But it's going to be fun.
I'm so excited. One of my favourite films of all time. Well, Tommy, have a great weekend. I'll see you later.
You too, Dan. Happy weekend, everybody, and take care.